Silent Hill update is here, and with it, a new killer, a new survivor, and a mysterious new map. Plus that Ghostface reveal bug has apparently been fixed, so that's cool too. The Silent Hill DLC is releasing proper in June, and it's unclear yet how much it's going to cost. Based on previous licensed DLC packs, we can guess that it'll either be £9.99 like the Stranger Things DLC or £5.19 like all other DLC. Due to the fact this is a huge franchise, arguably one of the largest DBD has ever gotten the license for, I'm predicting this will be priced the same as Stranger Things. That's just speculation. Let's chat about the package itself. Pyramid Head, or the Executioner, is our brand new killer, fixated on dispensing punishment through pain. He's tall, standard speed, and has the standard terror radius of 32 meters. His entire design puts across this image of strength and power, with the camera even shaking as he breaks pallets and his every step ringing out as he drags his blade along the ground. The Executioner's main ability is to dig trenches behind him as he walks. While doing this, his turning speed is impaired, and he can shoot forth a trail of damaging spikes that ignore collisions. This ability makes him extremely difficult to loop, and the range and aim is similar to that of the Doctor's shock therapy ability. This action can put you into both the injured and dying state, but as a special attack, doesn't apply the effects of perks that alter basic attacks, such as Noed and Sloppy Butcher. If a survivor walks over a trench dug by Pyramid Head, they're afflicted with a new status effect, Torment. Survivors afflicted by Torment can be seen, and a heartbeat reveals their location, the same way that Legion can see non-deep wound-inflicted survivors after hitting a player in Frenzy. If a downed survivor has Torment, they can be sent to a Cage of Atonement at a random but preset position on the map. This skips the Executioner's need to pick up the player and find a hook. The Cage of Atonement still has two phases, and in the struggle phase the player must complete irregular skill checks that get more difficult each time, or face being munched on by the cage. Survivors can be saved from the cage by other players, the same as when hooked. However, if you're on Death Hook, afflicted with Torment, and get downed, Pyramid Head can off you in seconds with a new Mori animation. That's right, he has two Mori animations. One a simple and quick slice, and the other... Well, I haven't actually been able to see that one yet because of the walls on the new map, but I'm sure it's cool. As of all other characters in the game, the Executioner comes with three perks: Forced Penance, Trail of Torment, and Deathbound. Forced Penance causes survivors who take a protection hit to be inflicted with the broken status effect for 30 seconds, meaning that they can't be healed. Trail of Torment makes you undetectable for 15 seconds after kicking a generator, but also reveals the aura of that generator to other survivors for its duration, and can only be triggered once every 80 seconds. Deathbound is a little more complicated. When a survivor heals another survivor outside your terror radius, the survivor doing the healing will scream, and they'll suffer from Oblivious for 45 seconds when further than 8 meters away from the healed survivor. I'm intrigued by the decision to include these perks with this killer. They're all based around deception, and offer ways for the louder, less subtle killers like Pyramid Head to misdirect and confuse survivors. Forced Penance seems particularly situational. Deathbound feels more passive in the way that it creates opportunity to sneak up on survivors, and Trail of Torment is the opposite, allowing you to create a situation where you can flank other players. My initial thoughts were that these wouldn't find themselves in the meta, but when playing a game with all three, I realised just how useful they can be. Of course, Deathbound and Trail of Torment are practically useless on killers like Wraith, Ghostface and Pig who can hide themselves easily, but for Oni or Leatherface, they're going to be extremely practical for certain playstyles. Cheryl Mason, previously known as Heather, is haunted by the memory of the tragic death of her adoptive father, Harry. She finds herself caught by the entity after falling into a pool of warm blood. Cheryl's perks are Soul Guard, Blood Pact, and Repressed Alliance. Soul Guard gives the survivor the Endurance status effect for 8 seconds after being healed or recovering from the dying state, preventing the next hit from inflicting any damage. In addition to this, while affected by the Cursed status effect, she can recover from the dying state. Looks like all Hex perks just got a second-hand nerf. Blood Pact reduces the odds of being the Obsession, and when you or the Obsession are injured, you can see each other's auras across the entire map. After healing the Obsession or being healed by the Obsession, you both gain haste for 8 seconds, allowing you to move faster. Also, if you're the Obsession, then the whole perk is deactivated? Repressed Alliance is one of the most interesting new additions we've had recently. When repairing a generator for 80 seconds, that's the full time it takes to complete one generator solo, you can press the active ability button to block off that generator for 30 seconds. Blocked generators are not affected by regression, including both being hit by the killer and by ruin. They're also revealed with a white aura. This means that, if you're about to pop a gen when the killer shows up and you don't have the time to finish it, you can let other players know which generator it is and prevent it from regressing at all. All in all, these three don't appear particularly meta-breaking. Soul Guard is going to be great for those risky pick-up off the floor saves, and will also force killers to think again about which Hex cosmetics perks they take with them. Blood Pact is strong, but if you're the Obsession, it's totally useless. Repressed Alliance is going to be either great or dreadful, and I honestly can't tell which just yet. Cheryl is also the first survivor to have the new legendary rarity cosmetic option, where 2 or more cosmetics are chained together in an outfit, allowing the developers to totally switch out the model of a survivor for another one. It's a cool idea. I'm not too fussed about cosmetics personally, but to those that are, I'm sure this will be a welcome new addition. The new map is called Midwich Elementary School. It has a large open area in the centre with hallways running along the outside. These hallways have 2 levels to them, and various rooms that break off into classrooms, bathrooms, libraries and more. It's got an impressive visual design and a haunting siren sound that plays when first loaded in. Oh yes, and we got the new map first time. That is creepy. Wow. I'm going to be taking a look at this map in more depth at a later date, but for now I can say with confidence this is one of the coolest, creepiest maps we've ever had in DBD. I'm excited to play more on it. There are various other changes in the patch notes that are smaller and more subtle. You can now sort customization inventory by rarity, outfit or name. There's a new user interface for adding friends and the layout scales better at 4K. In terms of balance, the clown is no longer slowed when throwing bottles. A small surprise buff for a killer, rarely used in red ranks, but for mains, a welcome one I'm sure. There are a whole bunch of bug fixes, including the Ghostface one I've already mentioned. There's also a change for a killer I've never heard of called the Death Sligner. A hint at Chapter 17 perhaps. All in all, this is an impressive and meaty content update. The new killer feels amazingly fun to play, and the survivor and map are both really cool too. Safe to say, the community will be satisfied for at least another 15 minutes or so. Good job, Behaviour. We're loving it.